is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories, and we begin with breaking news from Florida City. Chopper 4 just arriving to the scene of a shooting investigation. We are learning a child was hurt and rushed to the hospital. This is on Northwest 5th Avenue. We have a crew on the way to the scene, and we'll have the very latest tonight on CBS News Miami at 5. Miami-Dade school officials are working to prevent a measles outbreak. It's after a high school student tested positive for the virus. The student goes to Miami-Palmetto Senior High School. The case is a first for Miami-Dade County and a first in the state this year. CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez talks to parents and students.
Is concerning.
Diana Barrios is picking up her son Jeremiah early from school at Miami-Palmetto Senior High School in Pinecrest after a student at the same school was diagnosed with measles, making it the first case in Miami-Dade County this year.
Even though he has a shot, but the shot's been over a year and a half that we put it. So I don't know if it could get contagious or something. So I want to verify.
Barrios wanted to verify with her son's doctor to make sure he will be okay. That's why they're heading out to the doctor's office early for reassurance.
I'm going to ask him, if he's under high risk, if I should continue to send him to school. What can he advise me?
Measles is a viral illness that spreads through coughing and sneezing. Symptoms include fever, cough, runny nose, red or watery eyes, and a rash that usually starts on the face and spreads to the rest of the body. The school's principal sending out this message to all parents on Tuesday.
Hello, parents. This is Victoria Dobbs calling from Miami-Palmetto Senior High School to inform you that a student has been diagnosed with measles. If your child is experiencing symptoms or has been diagnosed with measles, please notify the school immediately.
Jeremiah says after hearing the news, he'll be taking extra precautions to stay safe and healthy.
I'm definitely going to be keeping my distance even more than I usually do, just staying more to myself, because especially during COVID, I caught it like 3 times. It was really bad. I really wouldn't like a repeat of that. It's just, not something that would be favorable for me.
That was Maribel Rodriguez reporting. Coming up today at 5, a doctor weighs in on whether students who have been vaccinated need to worry about getting the measles.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look at downtown Miami, a warm and windy day today, but we are in store for some wild temperature swings. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us with that look ahead.
Yeah, they're going to be wild. 50, 80s, 50s, 80s. This is going to be all over the place here. But first, let's talk about some showers. Got some gusty showers that have moved through downtown Miami. This one particular cell originated across portions of Kendall here and really just kind of blew up over southern Miami and moved through right over Coral Gables. Now it has pretty much weakened at its offshore anyway, crossing the beach there. But that was quite something there. Nothing severe, but some torrential downpours with that particular cell. I don't think we're going to have much in the way of any more significant rainfall in that intensity because we still have the front. That's what we're tracking here. And that front is on the move, and it's going to continue to come down. So clusters of showers ahead of the front. That's pretty typical. And then you got the actual line right ahead of the front. And as we put this in motion on Next Weather Rain Tracker, watch what happens there. It kind of falls apart, right? So same deal that we've been showing you the last few days. So this is current and a close-up shot of Rain Tracker here so you can plan your evening. I'd say between 6 and 7 o'clock, that's when the band moves in. It's not going to be particularly heavy, but unlike the last shower I just showed you, which only impacted one area, I think this will be most of us here as it just kind of crosses through. Look at Broward there at 8 o'clock with some showers, and then we begin to dry things out. It's going to be a quick drying out period here as we head through tonight. We're going to have temperatures falling, and we're going to have skies clearing, and all that is going to set us up for what will be the coldest morning that we've had in a long time here. I'm thinking 50s. The model trends have been just continuously pushing us back further, even colder on Friday morning. Some 40s not out of the question, but that's going to come with dry and sunshine, and it's going to be a nice end to the weekend regardless. And then the big weekend warm-up. This is what we're talking about. Wild weather, whiplash weather, roller coaster. You'll see the numbers on the Next Weather 7-day. It's going to be cooler tomorrow, but you wake up, maybe a light jacket. Temperatures will be in the 60s. I don't think it's going to be particularly that cold, but Friday morning morning, boy, that's when things start changing. We got a north wind, and that's when temperatures are going to tumble. But a quick recovery heading into the weekend. In fact, warm and breezy, and I think on Sunday, some areas in southwest Florida will likely actually hit 90 degrees on the thermometer. I think here for us, it's going to be more like upper 80s, but the humidity will make it feel warmer. And there are the numbers there. You can see that dive down to 54. I've been taking it down 1 degree each day because that's the way the trends have been. And then a quick jump. We're actually going to go above average as far as the temperatures. Also, the roller coaster ride will be along the humidity. A huge drop coming up for Thursday, and then a steadier climb as we head into the weekend. So you see there by Sunday with temperatures in the upper 80s. It's going to feel like 90-degree weather because of that. 77 for Thursday, 78 on Friday. There's that big cool down, but a quick shift in the wind. That will get us warmer, much warmer Saturday and Sunday with the hottest day of the next 7. And then a nice little cool down here. Back to more average temperatures with a few showers on Monday.
Bit of everything over the next 7 days. Ivan, thank you. And now to a safety alert out of Pinecrest. Police are searching for a man who assaulted a woman who was out on a walk. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has those details.
Pretty saddening. I mean, I didn't know that people could be so terrible. Well, I knew that, but in this neighborhood, I wouldn't have expected it at all.
Paulo Palma says he is troubled by what this suspect is accused of doing, assaulting a woman in Pinecrest who was taking a walk in her neighborhood.
This is terrible. That lady must be traumatized.
He was very brazen. It was 7:30 in the morning. Cars drove by literally seconds before this attack happened, and it didn't deter him from doing it.
Pinecrest Police Chief Jason Cohen says a woman in her 50s was taking a regular morning walk for exercise around 7:30 Monday morning when the attack happened. Cohen says the surveillance photos of this man on a blue bicycle carrying a purple bag with a shoulder strap assaulted the woman near Southwest 69th Court and 130th Street.
As he gets to about 30 feet from her, he puts the bike down, approaches her on foot, and grabs her in like what was described as a bear hug. In the process of grabbing her, he does touch her inappropriately. She immediately starts screaming for help, making a lot of noise, and he releases her. The lady was basically defenseless, but she did an excellent job in doing what anybody should do if they're put in this situation.
Cohen says the suspect ditched his bike about 10 minutes later after he took off here at Southwest 138th Street and 77th Avenue.
We describe him as what we believe to be a Hispanic male, possibly in his 20s or early 30s. He was described as tall, so we're saying about the 5'10", but we don't know for sure. He was wearing dark clothing, blue jeans, and he was on a light blue bike.
And that was Peter Dinch reporting. Coming up at 5, Peter has new surveillance video with a better look at the suspect. President Trump offered automakers a 1-month tariff exemption. That's as the 25% tariffs on imports take effect on imports from Mexico and Canada. He talked about tariffs and the size of the federal government in his address to Congress last night. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the details.
Do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that?
President Trump touted swift and unrelenting actions during the first 6 weeks of his second term, from border security.
They heard my words and they chose not to come.
To shrinking the size of the federal government.
I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Republicans reveled in the campaign-style speech while Democrats protested. Texas Congressman Al Green was even escorted from the chamber. The official Democratic response from Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin warned of a reckless approach, and she took aim at advisor Elon Musk.
Is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts?
A CBS News poll out this morning shows around 76% of a heavily Republican audience watching last night approved of the president's speech. But as fears of a trade war dampen consumer confidence, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick promised some movement on tariffs against Canada and Mexico as soon as today.
It will not eliminate the tariffs, but it might modify the tariffs somewhat.
There could also be movement with Ukraine after a letter from President Zelensky to President Trump following last week's explosive Oval Office meeting.
We are where we are now. We think this was a positive step.
Also revealed last night, the arrest of one of the suspected planners of the 2021 bombing attack outside Kabul that killed 13 U.S. service members in Afghanistan. That suspect is due in a Virginia courtroom this afternoon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
When we come back, you are not going to believe what spring break travelers are trying to get through airport security. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Spring break is expected to bring a lot of tourists, as you know, to South Florida. Many of them will be flying in and out of Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. And that's why TSA is reminding everyone about what you can and can't travel with. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten has a look at some of the outrageous things people try to bring on their flight.
I think this one's pretty obvious. For obvious reasons, we don't want chainsaws, gas-powered or electric, on board an aircraft.
In what world would you think it's okay to bring a chainsaw in your carry-on bag? Or how about a circular saw? Try getting that through TSA.
I think it's good that it's not allowed to get brought through. Yeah.
Would you ever imagine a chainsaw?
No, never.
Stephen Bradley and his friends from Atlanta are heading home after spring break. These are the travelers TSA is hoping will pay attention to what goes in their carry-on.
I had a hairspray that they couldn't bring on. Yeah.
Was it too big?
Yeah, too big.
So what happened?
They took it, and I just couldn't get it back.
Did it slow you down?
Yeah.
We have a fidget spinner gun right here in the front. It does not really look like a gun, but it is. It holds 3 bullets.
Most of the items on this table were surrendered at FLL over the last month and a half.
These things like baseball bats, your self-defense items, your liquids, your knives, those are the more common things that we see on a day-to-day basis, and in pretty heavy volume as well. It's not uncommon that we see 1,000 pounds a month of prohibited items.
At spring break time, one of the most common items to flag is sunscreen, the big bottles.
We have our sunscreen. This is 5 ounces. Our limit is 3.4 ounces or less. This cannot pass through, but you can put it in your checked luggage.
Expect peak days of up to 78,000 travelers at FLL and 95,000 at Miami International. The key to swiftly getting through security is to know before you go.
Everyone knows the 311 compliant rule with TSA. 3.4 ounces, all right, 100 milliliters, 1 quart size bag, right? This is to keep traffic moving through our checkpoints.
Important advice, and that was CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten reporting. And that does it for the CBS News Miami 4 p.m. Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.